not working out. You don't belong there. But he says, my child, continue to speak. But just know that this place don't serve you anymore. But continue to speak because it's gaining attention and it's gaining media attention. He's embarrassed. He'll be so embarrassed. Now, what if that? I pray that I am totally out of my mind and that couldn't be possibly true. Because imagine that is true. Imagine, because I'm thinking about things. He would always call my son his stepson. You know how people get so complacent that they'll say things? I mean, like a false marriage. I speculate. I highly believe that. But I'm going to get the answer. Why are they asking me on my taxes, was I still married on November 24th of 2024? And that's the same day that he was arrested for something that had to do with finances, except finances have to do with what? The IRS, because when you're married, eyes turn into weeks. So that was a strong sign from spirit, but I don't have any definitive answers. Everything that you got to search for, and it'd be hard too because he go by all these different names and aliases and all these different things, so you wouldn't know. But y'all be seeing, sis, put blocks on your credit report just in case. Oh, well, listen, the feds is on their ass. When I tell you, watch, I just want everybody, if you don't believe in God, follow me. Follow my journey. Even if you don't throw no coins, even if you don't share no live, watch the favor. Watch how he makes the last the first and the first the last. And I don't wish for anybody to be last, to be honest with you. I wish we could all walk side by side. You know what I'm saying? But in all reality, what is this app? Crabs in a motherfucking barrel. They're going to get I strongly prophesize Bigo is going to get the wrong attention, and Bigo, as you know it, will no longer be. They will be using biometrics. The process to get on here will be so difficult, you won't be able to get on here. They'll end up getting sued. I don't care what kind of seat. It's too late. That happened last year. But not, I'm talking about to where it can't come back. That's what I'm saying. People are getting hurt on here. My whole thing is this. I'm not switching my content so that people can throw me beans. I'm not talking about mothers, dead babies, and fucked up shit. Now, yeah, there's sometimes I'll hand it to a motherfucker, but I speak way more positivity than I spew negativity. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm of the flesh. Sometimes I gotta get a bitch. Sometimes I got to motherfucking, put the pause on them. But it's sad that there'll be 2.1K in somebody's room because they're talking about the next broadcaster. I make my broadcast about me. I speak on Super because basically what I'm going through in my life has part to do with him. But him, his brother, my family, my mother who has me blocked, she's on dialysis. You know what I'm saying? My brothers is involved. My cousin, People trying to call dingy, or not dingy, dingy a spy. There's nothing to spy on. People want to know if I am who I say I am. I ain't even used all my strength on that bitch. You understand? But that's the devil. The devil is a liar. So now I call on the ancestors. Deal with that hoe. Deal with that hoe. Because guess what? That's where the enemy want me. He want me in jail. He want me not in alignment. He want me to go back to the old me. So that's, that's how that go. But if you mess with my child, I gotta remember, not only is he my child, but he a child of God. So God gonna handle it. My ancestors are gonna handle it. But when I see a bitch and I know this lady lied on me and said that I threatened her child, I would never go around threatening children. To me, children are innocent. You understand what I'm saying? And that was the only way she could get like some kind of backup. So the gang stalking is not just on the app. And I've been called to speak on everything I'm going through, no matter how outlandish it sounds. Okay? So this one may know that one. We got the gang stalking on the app. But then we got the gang stalking in the neighborhood where they think they can get to my child. But what they need to remember, thank you, is he is a child. He's not just my child, he's a child of God. So I had to compose my life when he said, oh, well, so-and-so, it make me just, because she's lying on me, fucking husband, that I threatened her child. That is against my character. I would never threaten a child. Mama, because I know she part of this whole fucking plot. It's meant to make me sound crazy and delusional, but watching, and they're already connecting the dots. And believe me, they on every live. Every time somebody fucking put my name in the comments, my birthday or my address, I say don't mute them hoes, because can't nobody make it nowhere near me. Nowhere near me. I got the enemies trembling right now. How does she know what she knows? How does she know our deepest, darkest secrets? In this last season, everybody was calling me crazy. But in this season, things are coming to pass. Y'all are going to see things come to pass that's going to blow your mind. And I don't want y'all tired ass sorries. You know what I'm saying? To me, sorry sounds sorry. Be careful. Don't say sorry. Learn a lesson from it. Stop worshiping man. Stop looking at people like God. There's only one God. And anybody with a God-like complex, and we're not just talking about one person, anyone. Diddy thought he had Diddy, Trump, this Elon Musk guy, all these people have God complexes. You watch and wait and see what he does with them. Okay? Thank you. If you have a God complex, God has the power to show you that there is only one God. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. And I'm going to make sure to follow y'all. I appreciate all the support I get. Also, I have my AC up there, Single Live Goat. I have to move in a way. I have to move strategically now. Because there was once that I could get on the phone and I could call this one and call that one. Nowadays, in this hour, God said nobody could be trusted. He said, listen for my voice. before you get on the phone with your friends or so-called friends, even the ones that I think that are, that I've left. The thing is that they have used the closest people to me to harm me. I've been poisoned, but I'm still standing here at this motherfucking point. It's not who does she think she is, it's what is she. They don't even look at me as human anymore. Thank you. They don't even look at me. They be like, what the fuck and who the hell is looking out for her? Thank you. They want to know who's looking out for me. They still don't believe in God. They think because I was an ex-prostitute, because I curse, because I drink wine, because I, never said I was perfect. I'm pure though. I did nothing to hurt none of these motherfuckers in real life like they did me. And I forgive them. Like I forgive Super. I forgive Crown Me. I forgive Kitty. I forgive Barbie involved in the things that they did. Kevlo, but guess what? Y'all not finna finish me off. You're not gonna finish me off. Sorry, Brody. You're not gonna finish me off. God says forgive, but he doesn't say be an asshole and allow people to finish you off. So when he did that Tyler Perry crying, ooh, I've seen that before. And I'm not gonna say that it's fake, because that's between him and God. When people came in here and they were mentioning his son and talking about his son and the makeup and everything, I didn't allow that because I have integrity. What do kids, teenagers, whether they're adults, teenagers, or small children, they're not broadcasters. And they get affected by this too. And I try my best to not go too hard. Like I went to this one girl's live. I'm pretty sure everybody knows her. Her name is Moe. When I look at her comments and I see what people say to her, it shows me how demonic the app is. They don't care if a motherfucker was to get off the live and jump off the bridge. They would be the next cover photo the next day. Thank you. They would be the next cover photo. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Some people be in the spirit of depression. Not everybody is as strong as me. I mean, you could find videos of me looking crazy. So much one time that I had one lash off. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I thought it was safe. Next morning, I fucking go to YouTube. The cover photo is me with one lash on. Times when I was, operating, low vibrational, looking crazy. The cameras is always right there for that. But they're never there for conversations like this. You won't find nothing like this on Rumble. You won't find nothing like this on YouTube because it's not messy enough. You got to be talking about dead babies and children and who did what. And, when it comes to the things I'm talking about, it's important to me because it's my life. They done send hitmans my way. They're still actively trying to hurt me. So I'm actively speaking out. And I'm asking, yeah, they do. Because what happens is, the only thing they invite is low vibrational people. Even the high vibrational people turn out to be low vibrational because they feel as though If they vibrate too high, then nobody's going to want to fuck with them. So that's why God used a person like me going through the storm that don't give up, had my whole page taken away when it wasn't even verified. And I never gave up. You know, all these reality shows, they need to get with reality. If all it took was punching a motherfucker in the face to get to the top, then we would all be punching each other out. FYI, did anybody get paid for the show? Does anybody know that, T? Does anybody know, did the people get paid? Because they said look, I am pocket watching. We ain't even no tea, no shade. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm pocket watching. Because I was told that they was gonna get paid on the 3rd. They were all, I predict that Savannah and Super are gonna fall out. I predict it may even be Worm or Empress wearing a wire. Because people do crimes together, but they don't want to go to jail. And this is word on the curve. Word on the curve. You see, when he be saying, oh, he'll never leave me. My man is there. Da, 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 da. We got different kind of trolls. Some people come to you just to talk shit, but then some people come and tell you shit because they want you to know some shit. So someone came on a troll page, and we can't look at it as a fact. It's just something that was said. They said that Warren was in a situation where if he left Super, he wouldn't have anything. So I left it at that. Then someone else that's credible, but we're not going to say it's a fact. We're just speculating right now. You got to use your words carefully. Said that word on the curve is that Worm signed an NDA. If you look up his name, there's things in his name. But he signed something that said if him and Super ever separate, he can't take his shit back. And Spirit says that he thinks no one knows where he's at, but it's somebody very close to him setting him up. I'm not using this for content. I'm just speaking. We're speculating. If it was such a beautiful relationship, because we know Super's about appearances, but if it was such a beautiful, wonderful relationship, why would he even need Tinkerbell? He's the star. He's the one with the following. Why didn't he do a show with just them? Number one. Number two, if it was such a beautiful relationship, why do they keep saying that this man is in people's inbox? I know what I went through in the box with him for all them years. See, sometimes people doing for you monetary is not enough. It's not enough. Nowadays, you have to qualify to be around me. Fuck your money. Is you gonna respect me? Are you gonna treat me like a human being? Are you gonna talk to me like I'm less than? Don't come around me with that godlike complex. You're not doing that. I'm sorry. I don't go for that anymore. But I don't regret my experience. Yeah, they don't move with integrity anymore. They do not move with integrity anymore. And I feel like not only my situation will bring out much more situation. I was gonna leave, but God called me to stay. He said, stay. He said, don't worry about the beans. Don't worry about the cash apps. I'm gonna put it on people's heart.
Let's go.
Thank you. I'm gonna put it on people's heart to cash app you.
The
I'm
fuck?
gonna put it on people's
Bullshit.
heart to gift you. But don't worry about that. Just be on mission. Just stay on the. There are gonna be people that come in your box. They're gonna try to throw you off. But if you notice, there are less and less of those kind of people because of the way that I've handled them. They have came up and accidentally told on their damn self. Could y'all imagine that? They done came up here to troll, but the guilt done made them too. They say the guilt will make you too. Let me make sure that I'm following you. Shout out to everyone who has gifted me. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm staying on. You know, usually when people even have conversations like this, they don't get no views. So just to have almost 300 people in the room, and you know, I'm speaking about spirituality and speaking about different, you know, things. You know, that right there, you know, lets me know that I am making an impact. God told me, He said, don't worry about where the beans come from. Don't worry about where the money's coming from. He said, I got you. Just be on mission. Just stay on assignment. And they're coming now. A lot of people are coming. You want to know something? Since I went live, I didn't even share it. I haven't shared it not one time. I don't make the most beans on the app. I haven't even taken money off the app. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you. God said just keep on going. Keep on going. Yeah, you're going to have negative people that come and report your live, but keep on going. Make sure y'all follow me. That is the most important thing. Because when they start reporting and stuff like that, that's when, you know, I live. But when my lives, thank you, all I do is go right back live. I appreciate all the support. But just to stay on mission, you know, keep on doing what I do. And even if you don't have no beat, you guys can tap the screen. You can share the live. I'm not one of them people. I'm not one of them people who, you know, anything that I get, I'm, you know, appreciative of. You know? You Siren, I followed you, and you know, and people that don't have a being, people that just even took the time to listen to me. You know? Because we got people on this app that once they start making a couple of dollars, they like, all you sent me was this and that, you know, not knowing that these are people hard-earned money. You can't treat nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? And to the gifters, y'all should stop letting people treat y'all like that. You know, this ain't about Super. This is about any broadcaster that says, oh, don't send me them free tickets. Don't they know them free tickets help up your room? Don't send me them free gifts, because this don't mean nothing, or, you know, or get me to, you know, I stopped gifting years ago because of entitlement. Right. We're not entitled. You cannot be entitled. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, these are people's hard-earned money that they given to you. And then the day that, you know, some people can gift you today, and they may not can give you tomorrow. I done heard motherfuckers sit up there and say, give me some beans or get your broke ass out my face. How do you talk to people like that? And how do people allow people to talk to them like that? Like there's something very wrong with that. I don't care what nobody say. People get to where they, like I know God is gonna upgrade me, and I know what, He showed me, and I know that a lot of people are not gonna be happy for me. But guess what? It won't be the people that think they're gonna be blessed by me. It'll be the people that least expect it. It could be an admin in the comments that didn't have any beans like that, but always was here. Or God could just put it on my heart to just instantly change this person's life. Because I've always had the spirit of wanting to help as much as I can. Even when I couldn't, I would do what I could. If he put money, like you said, the app gonna be gone soon. As we know it at least, because I've always said that those people are sitting somewhere laughing at us. They laughing at us. They sitting up there like, these motherfuckers are dumb. Let's get this money while they sit up there and talk about mamas and kids and dog each other out. Talk about they pulling up and all of this shit. I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't pulling up to nobody's house. You want to know why? Because, truth be told, in New York City, we have a self-defense law. It's not self-defense when you go looking for trouble. But please pull up on me. If you come here and you're not invited and you make it in this motherfucker, I suffer from PTSD, anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and I will do you because you had no business bringing your ass here. You understand what I'm saying? People call it, oh, don't be no police ass bitch. No, you better be a police ass bitch. Just like that lady that been trying to fuck with my son and have her kids fuck with my son. I'm damn sure making a police report on the father that said he was going to get my son touched. They have the video upstairs of the kid fucking with my kid. Now, let me tell you something. My son was hit by a whole fire truck at the age of 7 at 60 pounds. What they finna do? He said he felt like his friends didn't have his back, that he felt like he was gonna get jumped, and he felt like the kids didn't have his back. But this is part of this whole gang stalking thing. But God, I plead the blood of Jesus over my son to give him discernment. If my son felt like nobody was gonna have his back, and he knows, like he told me, and it hurt my heart when he said this to me. He said on a stamina scale, he know he can't get hit again by anything else. You understand? He don't want to fight on the concrete, so he's wise because But what I'm saying is, as soon as I came home and I heard about it, I was ready to go smack a bitch. And the thing, because she lied on me, she went and told her husband that I threatened her youngest son. You understand what I'm saying? I would never threaten a child. And I don't want to put children at risk. Because sincere God, even if I don't talk to my family, I have family, I have extended family. I know some brolic crackheads that would just run up in her shit. Her husband is on a dialysis machine. They done had me at a character to where I said I will motherfucking pull the machine out the motherfucking wall that's supposed to keep your husband alive, bitch, before I go anywhere. Because she had told people after I beat her up that if it wasn't for jail, she would have stabbed me. You don't make them motherfucking kind of threats to a person like me, because that's when I get back to, But I learned that is the devil right there. Trust in God. God gave my son the discernment. Yeah, I was for my son. That's who I will rock that Why you think they coming for him now? Because I'm spiritually grounded. So guess what? I plead the blood of Jesus over him. I pray every night, every day when he leaves to go to school, that God will cover him from the crown of his head to the bottom of his feet, and that no weapon formed against him shall prosper. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look at it. Let me look at it. Let me tell you something. You know, my son wasn't always like that. He wasn't able to use his. I prayed to God and I said, "Give him discernment, Lord. Give him discernment." He said, "Mommy, I felt like they weren't gonna have my back." He said, "I felt like they were gonna just jump me," and he said, "The people that's supposed to have my back, they sitting up there recording." So I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? So it's like me, when I see the mother, I be on go. Like, what's up, bitch? Like, really, like, seriously, I went to the supermarket the other day just so I can buy some groceries. So I ran into her and her son, and I said to the little boy, I said, if you and my son don't get along anymore, that's cool. But leave him alone. You know, just leave him alone. But I'm going to the precinct right tomorrow because this situation is getting out of control. So you have to have things documented. So I have all the text messages of the father saying he was going to get my son touched. Ever since then, people have been attacking him, left and motherfucking right. And my son is a fighter. He will fight. But God has given him discernment. He's stepping out on faith and making it look like, hey, I'm pussy, fuck it. I don't want to fight. I'm gonna go tell my mother. So he can't, and I'm not gonna fight no kid. So I take it out on the motherfucking adult at the end of the day. But that's what they want. She's a crackhead. This lady's a crackhead, so she don't care. For a rock, she'll do anything. She don't care about getting beat up, as long as she get a rock out of it. You get what I'm saying? So now the gang stalking, my son is starting to believe all the things that I was telling him. Okay? So I'm ready to snitch on you. Well, snitch. Snitch. The devil already snitched on you. The devil snitched on your ass already. Snitch. It's not going to stop it from happening. I'm bold. I'm equipped for everything that I do. What the fuck are they going to do about me? I told that motherfucker, her husband based up in my face. She lied. That, people who lie, that's dangerous. I don't care what you do, don't lie on me. She sat there and told the husband that I threatened her kid. What do I look like threatening kids? I know you have HIV. I don't even fuck. You want to see my man? Let me show you my man. Let me show you who I'm fucking. Let me show you who I'm fucking. Unless this could give me HIV, I'm good. That's my man, my man, my man. My man, my man, my man. My man, my man, my man. That's not going to trigger me. If you want to say whatever you want to say about me, that is fine. Okay? See, the only reason why I'm speaking on Super having it is because he's spreading it maliciously. Okay? I definitely believe if I was fucking you, we definitely should see paperwork. But I'm not fucking you. As a matter of fact, I ain't fucking nobody. So it's never about a health read. I'm never reading nobody for their health. What I'm reading a motherfucker about is maliciously spreading some shit. But even if let's say It was 10 years ago. Let's say it was 15 years ago. I am not motherfucking fucking you. I'm not fucking anybody on the app. I'm HIV negative, but let's just say I was positive. I ain't fucking nobody. The only reason why I'm coming after Super is because I know for a fact he has it and he is ruining people's lives. Okay? I got the rest of my life to sit on a dick. So I would never sit up there and make fun of nobody and be like, oh, because this one, there's a lot of stigma when it comes to that. You get what I'm saying? When you got it, I have your health records. Okay, you have my health records. Wait till y'all find out all the dirty things that were done. Okay, so I got a letter in the mail one time saying breach of contract. No, a breach. So I really, I didn't even know. No, listen, y'all, I didn't even know what that really meant. So it's somewhere around here. I gotta find that shit. So it basically said that people like had hacked into my stuff, and that's another reason why I don't know who did it, but somebody that's super fucked had problems with their cootie cat, and guess what they did? Guess what they did, y'all? Don't mute. They used there are people walking around with my ID, with their picture. I have what you call it, a driver's license in Florida. Never been there. I have a driver's license in New York City. Never been there. And like I said, I don't even have the proof as of yet, so I can't say and give you a definitive answer, but I guarantee you I will be right that I was put in a false marriage. I don't know who did it, how many times it's been done, but that's why, if there's anybody on the live that can help me with an AC, there's a very, very great search engine that I can use, and it's about $10. And if somebody could send me $10, I'll be able to, get to work. Last time I called the IRS, I fucking fell asleep on that motherfucker. That's how long they took to answer the phone. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't care what is that supposed to trigger me? I'm not gonna go crying like he did. Ooh, they say this. The guilt makes people too. You can't even move the crown off of my head. It wouldn't matter if what y'all think. Who cares? This is about someone maliciously spreading a disease amongst an app, and it's supposed to be a TV show, but it ends up being a fucking orgy of people spreading STDs. Okay? And as people are doing this and saying things, they're taking a chance because the FBI is watching my live. The FBI is watching his live. Everything has a digital footprint, and everything has been proven. When it comes to, this is what I truly believe, right? When it comes to the FBI, they can investigate however they need to investigate. So, well, there's 352 people in here now. Yeah, so and you're here, but you can't trigger me. If the things that I said had no validity to it, then why are you here? Because the other day I was told that somebody had my picture up and was talking about me. Do you think it meant anything to me? I didn't even share my live. So these are the views that I got without sharing my live. It ain't about the views, it's about the people that I'm reaching. I'm reaching people. I'm reaching people. And they're people that have basically stories to tell because Sue has been on here for a long time and he never keeps friends. And, you know, thank you, Margaret Jones. This is not about taking Super down. This is about he got to be stopped. You understand what I'm saying? Think about this, right? Like, people, they go for the glitz and the glams, and, this person got this person got that. So let me go ahead and give them some pussy and shit like that. And this came from a reliable source. He'll tell people, oh, she's mad that I didn't fuck her. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I used to be in love with Super. But intuitively, I always knew that there was a good chance he had that shit. One day he was sitting talking on Bigo, and he was drunk. This is before I even joined the family. And he was like, I thought I said to leave it up to the law. Listen, at the end of the day, the people need to still be aware. Nobody's stepping up. You know what I mean? One thing I can tell you, if I was one of those people that he did that to, I would have my inbox on here. If I was one of those people, I would say something, There's people that he did that to, but there's so much stigma around it. I'm looking, I don't see. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I got them. I just followed. What would the live be without the trolls? They make them live more interesting. And it shows how unbothered I am, because when it comes down to it, right, anybody can have anything, that I didn't, HIV. I remember when I was a teenager working in a strip club, I was a loosey-goosey. First of all, I didn't know nothing about dancing. When I tell y'all I didn't know nothing about dancing, I didn't know nothing about coming what I was supposed to do. So all I knew is that if I drank, whatever I was talking to people about, that it worked, so I would be drunk, and I was fucking the owner of the club. This is when I was 15 years old, a true story. And it was alleged that the owner of the club was a carrier of HIV. I was so scared, it took me about maybe 2 years to go get myself checked. I said, God, if I'm healthy, I promise you I won't play with you no more. And I was healthy. I don't know if the allegations about him were true or not, but even in between that, there were days I woke up in a pool of nut and ain't know who the fuck the motherfucker was. Look to the left, like, who are you? I done had my days, but baby, when I fucking went and found out that everything was good with me, now, I caught an STD 2 times in my life. When I was 15, I caught chlamydia. And when I was 24, my baby father gave me trichomosa, whatever the fuck. The whole hospital knew I had that shit. Because the way that I was yelling and screaming in that motherfucking phone, I said, motherfucker, listen, at the end of the day, your coochie ain't supposed to, one thing about it is this. It ain't even just about having your man or your woman get tested. It's about if your lifestyle puts me in jeopardy, then I'm not fucking with you. You get what I'm saying? If your lifestyle is putting me in jeopardy, then fuck a test, because guess what? The test is only as good as, what you're doing out there. So when your unlucky day comes, why should it be mine? So one spirit told me that. You understand? That's why when my baby father came over here last year, asking somebody to suck on his motherfucking dick, I said, put that shit back. Ain't nobody finna suck or fuck or do a motherfucking thing. I said, I don't know where that shit been. Lord and behold, that's when I found out, and I'm not really sure if it's him or my ex-best friend. But one of those people were infected purposely so that I could be infected. But because I am celibate, and because they had the wrong information, and because I wore lingerie and told my prostitution stories, people didn't believe I was who I said I was. They thought that I was a hot mess like they were. Like 1-800 legs open. No. When God have delivered you from motherfucking being a motherfucking, not just a hoe, by the time I was a prostitute, I'm 41 years old. I was prostituting at 14 and 15 years old. In my whole 20 years, 2 condoms broke. But some people don't even understand. Let me educate y'all. They have something called post-exposure prophylaxis. So if you lay down with somebody today and the condom breaks, you can go to the hospital. They will test you for all STDs. And as long as you don't test positive for HIV, they will give you something called post-exposure prophylaxis, which is like a cocktail of pills to prevent you from catching it. You have to do it in the first 72 hours, and it's better if done right away. You know, it's not 100%, but hey, Kay Chappelle. Hi, my baby. Hey, Kay Chappelle, do you ever see Queen anymore? Do she be on IG? I know you don't remember us as getting along, but I've grown so much, you know, I wish her the best. I hope that everything with her is okay, and I know that, you know, you definitely here and there. Well, I hope her and her baby is good. She has such a beautiful daughter, you know. Maybe that's what she needed in her life. And you know what? Maybe, you know, the live thing, you know, is not so much for her. But I'm going to tell you something. After everything that played out with Juicy, with Super, and then I go back to Queen's Live, I said everybody thought that girl was fucking crazy. That Queen ain't no liar. She told the truth about a lot of shit. And just because it came out a certain way, they thought, oh, she, you know, we ain't gonna believe this girl or whatever. But she spoke a lot of fucking truth. She spoke a lot of fucking truth. And everybody thought Queen was a liar. She definitely spoke a lot of truth. When it came to Marvin, remember Marvin, y'all? You remember Marvin, Kay Chappelle? You know, it was the look on her face. Thank you. It was the look on her face. Like, you could tell Queen didn't play when it came to certain things. When it comes to hurting, I don't care how much she trolled. When it comes to hurting children, she didn't go for that shit. So he thought that showing a picture of the brother or whatever the case may be, that was going to gain Queen's, you know, even if they talked on the phone and even if she told him to say or do certain things, that's one thing I know she didn't play with. I know she don't. I remember her being the first one to sit up there and yell that Super was a sex offender. And we all came at her and we all yelled and we all shouted and like Queen, you know, on some real shit, you know, I just really hope that she's okay and that everything is good with her. Her daughter is beautiful, you know, and, you know, even when my blessings come in, she's going to be one of the people I bless. Blessings come from people you least expected. My breakthrough is near. You know, I feel like she never got a fair chance. She never had nothing just handed to her. You get what I'm saying? Some people, never had anything given to them with purity. Like a lot of, no, I understand you do, but I'm just saying there's some people, like I had watched the Surviving Queen Op thing. Let me ask you, Kay Chappelle, a honest question, if you don't mind answering. What do you think about Randy Who? She came back to the tits. I mean, right, I was about to say that. Yeah, but what do you think about the way she did Queen? She always says the way Queen did her. But no, look at how you went on a rampage. Think about this. One strong point that Queen had was that if she lost a supporter or if Super stole a supporter, he said he never wanted to steal her supporters, but he did. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm telling you, when I tell you, everything she said about Juicy was true. She didn't lie on that lady at all. And the comments used to peep everything. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing was, Super would say, "Oh, the thing about it was, Queen didn't really know. She did things the way she did things, the way she wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't taking advantage of everybody. She didn't care if everybody just sent her $1. You understand? She was friends with Queen then, but the fallout. Do y'all remember what the fallout was over? It was because Queen peeped the T. She clocked the T. She was a good supporter, but at the end of the day, Queen, she spoke the truth. Juicy is fake. And her comments seen it. She started to clock it and pay attention to it. And not only that, Juicy's the kind of person that she want to take uh, the people who really fuck with Queen away from her over monetary value. You get what I'm saying? And then throw rocks and hide her fucking hands. I know everybody knew me not to like Queen, but the only thing I was defending was Super and what I thought to be true. Nobody is perfect, but she definitely has a support system. You know what? What if Juicy was sent to destroy Super? Y'all ever thought about that? Cause Juicy was kind of like obsessed with her. When Juicy went over to Super, they was not into it. But then they became into it, and you can't tell me that she didn't talk to Queen all this time when things started going, haywire. You know? I'm telling you. And everybody knew me not to like this lady. And the more I start watching her videos, see, things got to play out. Things started playing out, and I'm like, yo, Queen wasn't motherfucking lying. Queen was telling the truth. It's just that her delivery or whatever people thought about her, the things that, the negativity that was spewed, people thought, oh, no, that girl spoke some motherfucking truth. But it was up to other people if they clocked that T or not. She spoke truth. And all Super used to tell her, oh, you got 2,000, 3,000 views, but they not throwing you no money, and this and that. But my whole motherfucker, yes, about everything. Child, she ain't no liar. If I ever see her, I'll say I'll give her flowers. Like I said, when my motherfucking check clear and when God levels me up, she'll be one of the people I bless. You know, because I don't think I think that she have a higher calling, and I mean the thing. Yeah, the thing is that everybody don't get that side of her because she's been through some of the things that I've been through, sexual abuse, you know, domestic violence, and people that said that they were there for her hurt her. You get what I'm saying? And social media made it a place where people had to fucking be a certain way or they weren't accepted. You understand what I mean? I feel as though Danny, you know, Danny should go. I don't agree with Danny, you know, because the one time when she was live and she said that Danny hit her in the head with a hammer, that's not no regular shit. My nigga, that's not like you punched me in my face. You fucking hit me in my head with a hammer? Oh no, boo. You need to go. But I think that she's used to having someone, with her so that she doesn't feel alone. You get what I'm saying? And she does have a lot of, she's still going through. Yeah, I think Danny needs to go. Because at the end of the day, when I saw Baby Summer, I said, damn, she is a beautiful, but I'm just saying, Queen has talents. You ever sit there, even though she ripped those wigs off of Michelle's head, y'all see how nice she could do, lay a wig? You know what I'm saying? A big mistake. She said she getting married to her, but I hope she don't. I don't think that's for her. At the end of the fucking day, I'm like, not in the head with a hammer. And I always felt that too. Because remember when she used to always tell people, y'all bitches is on fake pages watching me? I was one of them. What the hell? I was one of them. I couldn't watch her whole live because she used to be live for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. But I would come in there from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And, there's that video that I wish they would take down where I think, and I'm not saying this, Danielle hit Shell 2 with a hammer. See, Danielle, let me tell you something. I believe that, the content just went too far. I know for a fact that Queen didn't want all that stuff to happen to Michelle. She was pregnant, and I knew from the time when she had that kid that Danielle would have, you can't have people come around you with their unhealed fucking wounds. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you one thing, y'all remember that Dookiana shit where they had to fight and stuff, and they was trying to say that Queen wasn't pregnant, but she was really pregnant. And no offense, but Dookiana is a man. And I ain't gonna lie, she worked that motherfucker. She sure did. Worked his motherfucking ass. I haven't seen Dookiana on social media. Didn't she? One thing about it, two things for sure. She said, get off of Pop's bed with that mother, and then that shit was crazy. So basically, Dookiana was laying on Pop's bed with no sheets. Right, but she gonna get past it, And let me tell you something. There's no Whether people believe me or not, I don't care. You know, I know that my blessings are coming. I know everything that was taken from me, God said double for my trouble. You know what I'm saying? She's a person that I will bless, definitely, because she deserves a blessing. She does. She deserves a blessing. She deserves to be able to, because she has talents. She can rap. And you know what? Danny had been trying to get her for years, and she would always curve her. Yeah. Now, I think Super was wrong for telling her to rap about motor oil, car oil. So that's what me and her had the argument about. That when the kids started arguing, because I went over there to defend. Well, I tried to talk to her, but she was pissed. She had every right to be pissed. Y'all know damn well. So my dumb ass back then, I'm like, well, you can rap about chlamydia and BV, but not car oil. But you just don't expect that topic. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that now that me and Super fell out that I'm on her side. It's that the truth is the truth. You know, just like a lot of times, But I'm glad that she's not on social media. You know what I'm saying? Because all them people want to do is see you without your kid, and call the police and do all the things, and people have to grow. You know. And one thing about it, she got supporters that still gonna make sure she good without her being lying. She's just misunderstood. That's what I think. I think she's misunderstood, and I think her daughter is beautiful. She is, but she gotta pay. She on IG. What do you mean she gotta pay? Why does she have to pay? I don't understand. What does she have to pay? Reason why I brought her up is Kay Chappelle used to be an officer. You gotta pay to do what? Go live? Or you gotta pay to see her live? But that was a good idea, shit. If you ask me that was a good idea. That was a good idea. Fuck it. That's a good ass hustle move right there. But that's a good ass hustle move right there. Y'all bitches want to troll me, pay to troll, motherfuckers. And they pay to get in too. I bet you they do. Then on top of that, she get her little CAs. I ain't gonna be no hater. I used to get mad at Super because, and he does it over here too, where, you know, Super's a clout chaser himself. He say he got all the clout, and he used to talk about Queen like she was nothing. But at the end of the fucking day, how many people did he take from Queen? How many leftovers? Just so he could treat them bad. He acted like he didn't know who Juicy was. He knew who the fuck Juicy was. He was ghosting. He was watching. Trust me. And I'm going to tell you this. Queen got the last laugh because Juicy thought she was playing in her face. Think about it. If you don't believe in people, believe in patterns. Look how she became friends with Queen. All her lives were recorded. So basically what happened was somebody said, that's Moneybag Yo baby mom in the comments. So she said, I just sent because you told me you said to send and I don't see nobody sending. Juicy do things to be seen, to be praised. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, bitch, you don't even have out of polish. How do you think that, and she's involved in my fraud thing too. She had a Navy Federal in my name. And God called me to speak on everything that I've been through. Everything that probably was her on the foo-foo. It probably was. She's very weird like that. I swear to you when I tell you. She's weird like that. Weird. And the Queen used to wake it up that she was the queen of foo-foos. That she'd be like, that was you on that foo-foo. She and the first thing that Juicy would do, and that's why she's sitting in the. I mean, I know I see her on Instagram. She still looks good and everything like that, but her insides ain't good. You know, let Worm and Super fuck, suck and pluck your ass. She stayed on the foo-foos. So what happened was this, right? And this is another thing that is being exposed. That somebody that had my ID and woke it up too. Woke what up? Oh, but see, Empress don't like Juicy. She said she don't care because she got money. And she said, if she been infected by this motherfucker, then you can be infected too. And you can get it too, boo. Empress is evil. You can get it too, boo. And you can get it too, boo. And you can get it too, boo. And that's why all them bitches is acting angry and upset with me. Because I didn't sit on a dirty dick. Like they did. Because it was divine intervention. Yeah. Queen Ben woke that up. But see, the things that she was saying, nobody used to believe her. So then she had that break from social media. I started watching stuff. And I said, damn, this girl wasn't fucking lying. After Juicy came to the things, when I first told people she was trolling me, nobody fucking believed me. Nobody believed me. Queen, you know nobody be believing me. Everything I say, they be like, oh no, she's lying. She's lying. And I'd be like, why the fuck would I lie? There's no reason for me to lie. One thing about it, right? Queen, it's not that I look to you for validation, but you've been with me for a long time. It always comes to pass. Mr. Throat only been watching me for a short period of time and came back here at least 2 or 3 times saying, oh my goodness, you said this was going to happen. In a few weeks, no matter how crazy it sounds. And I can discern and tell you, when I dreamt about that car crash, after that, Worm had got hurt, but that is not, that doesn't coincide. There's still going to be a car crash. I just don't know. You know, I sometimes I don't like to say things because people look at it as, is she wishing for someone to crash? Does she want someone to crash? No. But God showed me a car crash. I was on my way to sleep, and it's like, I was like, you know, in between when you're about to fall asleep, and like when you're just about to fall asleep, God showed it to me. A car crash. I wasn't driving. He didn't show me the driver, and I wasn't affected in any kind of way. It's like I could feel the impact. It was a fatal crash. And so then after that, Worm got hurt. But I don't think that has anything to do. Hey, the boss. I don't think that has anything to do with that. You know, the karma has just begun. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm coming back on you. I appreciate you so much. You know, the karma on this motherfucker just began. Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. Get your wine. Get what you gotta get, because I'm telling you, the karma has just began. because he wished death on other people. Well, I don't know. God only, has the answer. But I know that he wished death on me, and death almost came to his loved one. You understand what I'm saying? The thing about it is that we have to plant more good seeds than bad ones. I ain't gonna lie. Just last week, I smacked the holy fire out of someone. But guess what? God knows I'm not perfect. I said I'm pure, not perfect. When it comes to my son, I'll smack. But I realized, you know what? I had to pray. And I had to talk to my son. And I said, the devil knows that he can't get to you. So he's going to try to get to you through your son. So this is when you got to call on Archangel Michael. This is when you got to call on Jesus. And this is when you got to call on your ancestors. Right. Sometimes it'll skip you and go to someone else. See, and then he does black magic too. I want y'all next time when you see that crystal ball, y'all need to stop going up there. I mean, you support who you want to support, but stop going up there while he have that crystal ball and letting him speak over your life and all of that shit. She's doing illusion spells on the app. If y'all could go to Rumble, right, and listen to everything that he was saying when he was gonna, because someone called me that morning and said, oh my gosh, he's really gonna press charges on Cece. I promise you, he's shitting in his pants about that. He knows he took that too far. If I gotta walk to Georgia, I will be at that court date. He only came after her. If I gotta walk to Georgia, if it's meant for me to go, a stranger will buy me a ticket. And tomorrow, well, today, we're gonna find out if I'm right or wrong about him falsely marrying me and falsifying documents. As much as they talked about me, even with my flaws, there's people that want to be me because I was a trust fund baby that nobody knew nothing about like, wow, if this comes to pass, I pray to God that I'm just delusional. This time I want to be delusional. Now I know someone did it. Because think about it, my ex-best friend, even if my family helped him steal the money, think about who can have rights over your money. Think about it. Think about it. Did he walk into court as my agency leader? I have proof of there was 2 court cases. See, what I should have did was shut my mouth because he didn't go to the court case once I already knew. He's wanted for questioning, and once they question him, if they can't get past my questions, they stand no choice in a court of law. I don't yell and scream at people no more. You know what I let them do? Come up here and show their ass, expose it. People been exposing themselves. And I tell people, because I know Super done wronged more people than a little bit, and some people don't have the voice. A lady got in my box one day, and I recognized the voice, but I just didn't know who she was. And she said, I love you, Bottom. I said, well, who are you? I love you too. You know, whoever got love for me, I got love for you. She said, I know you're not lying. Keep speaking your truth. I said, who are you? Because I knew that fucking voice. But I didn't want, right. I didn't want, to say she was one person and she's really not that person. So she said, Bottom, everybody wants to know who I am, but I'll never say who I am. But keep speaking the truth. And in that moment, I got a download that was one of his victims. Then someone else came on somebody else came in my inbox and they said that they didn't want their information to be known, but that they needed Worm's name. I went to Lowe's room one day and Lowe was like, "How did you get that man's name? No one ever knew Worm's name." Well, I never knew that, but I got the name and I gave it to the lady. She said she was calling her attorney. I never heard from her again. Okay? If you think about it, right? The people that have been watching, it's less trolls now and more people listening. Because he painted the narrative. Why do you think that people try to get me off track? And I clocked it too. And I let everybody in. They might have came. I can turn a troll into a supporter. Because think about it. It ain't their fault. They was told this. They was told that. They, believe. That's how I started watching Cece. People talked about Cece so much that I had to see who the hell she was. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to tell people, I don't care if she fucked 65 niggas in one night. That is her business. I feel as though God spared her. And I don't like on this app how people take people that been through a lot and use them as content. And they're not genuine. I'm not saying there aren't genuine people on here, but when it comes to the broadcasters, not the gifters, a lot of them people is not. They are not genuine at all. They meet up with each other just so they could talk about each other. Why do you think they did Super like that in season 2? You could go on Rumble and every single fight is on there. So who do you think is? And I prophesied that once the show come out, there isn't going to be any reunion. Watch, there's not going to be no reunion. And does anybody know if the people even got paid? Did anybody get paid, you guys? Because I said he was going to come up with a reason why people wouldn't get paid. So does anybody know if the people got paid? Yes, I'm pocket watching. Did they get paid, you guys? Not yet. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. They're not going to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why he was making good with his things. That should have been on the show because it was called Welcome to Tinkleville. When you speak, I noticed when you speak, I noticed the TR, the trolling stop. Yeah. Because the whole thing about it is I'm speaking truth. God is using me as a vessel. It stops it. You can't keep on speaking about Jesus and the devil can't stay because your light is too bright. And then they see, think about it. Remember how many people used to come in the box and try to do their big one? They make more of a fool out of themselves. They still be in here on foo-foo pages, and then I have the collective in the room too. Now I'm starting to meet people just like me, and I see it with my own eyes, right? Yeah. When have you ever seen somebody talking about God, spirituality, things that people normally don't talk about and have this many people coming? You don't see that. When you're on mission for God, you just keep going. You don't even mute the trolls. She came playing in my face, and I told her, girl, you are a part of this shit. Because think about it, y'all. Was I wrong? I'm nice to everybody. But see, people like Queen, people that know me from the other side, they know. that I will read a bitch down. But that's not what God had me on mission for. He said, if y'all want to hear me yell and scream, go to motherfucking Bigo. Go to fucking YouTube and type in my old name Bottom Hole and just put verse. And it'll show you how you wouldn't even think I was the same person. Okay? You would be like, who the fuck is this? You know? So I learned that people, when they're miserable, they want you to be just as miserable as them. So they'll come and irritate you or tell you some stupid shit. Now, if there was a man just in my box trolling me and I'd have finally got the man down, why the fuck would she come in my box playing the man? It is my calling. It's my calling. Finesse said on his live yesterday that there are warlocks on this app. Yeah. And he fell for the worst one of them, Super. There are witches, there are warlocks, but there are also people that are on assignment for God. I don't give a damn if you see me smoke 100 blunts a day. Yes, I curse. Yes, I will smack a bitch. I never said I was perfect. Okay? But I'm still serving my purpose. Because you have to be able to be a speaker as well. Not everybody is a natural born speaker. So at first, when I was talking, and I've seen my character development since I've been on here, I just had to turn down a PK. Because you know how that go, y'all. I fucking accept the PK. Then the next thing you know, my whole fucking life start doing some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just stay in my own lane, stay in my own life. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I do. Today's flame party is live. Complete them to light up your flames. Distractions. Like, why would she come? Okay, granted, I don't want her and Crown to fight. They've already ripped each other's heads apart. But who cares? Are we in 5th grade? Who cares who won and who fucking lost? Think about it. Right now, I'm talking about my fucking life. This is live or die. There's some very powerful people that I have taken down that want nothing more than to see me dead. We have dirty judges that allowed shit to go through, knowing damn well that they shouldn't have. We have dirty lawyers that knew what the fuck was going on. We got people that forged signatures, 3rd-degree Masons. People in high places. And that's why God said, keep speaking. Because my story is getting a lot of attention. Unbeknownst to a lot of people. Think about the people that come in here and they don't have a name. They just have a number. That's for a reason. That ain't just a po-po. I have elite eyes on me. And I will transmute this energy and turn it into something positive. You know what else I prophesize? That Super will take the cowardly way out. God showed me suicide. Him writing a letter blaming everything on me. It's all her fault. God showed me he will not be delivered. He will be an idiot until his last fucking days. He will be a narcissist to the day he dies. He will talk shit. Word on the curve, is he can barely control his bowels anymore. And I'm not even trying to be funny. And you don't have to be gifted. Just listen to him when he talks. People project. Everything that he says he's not is what he is. Everything that he accuses other people of being is what he's doing. And me knowing him, working side by side with him all of this fucking time, I realized some shit. If I could only play, I gotta get another device. You know, I have my TV here that plays YouTube and shit. But we not finna get into all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just all about him. Yeah. He can't sit with self because he doesn't accept self. Can y'all double tap and share the live, you guys? Can y'all please help me? Oh wow, I got to 3 stars. Do you think we can get to 4 stars, y'all? I think they're about to start it over. You know, but I'm happy and I'm satisfied, you know, because regardless of what, thank you, regardless of what, I worked for God before I worked for Bigo. Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate you. You know, like I'm never gonna get to the point where I tell people get some beans or get the fuck out my face. The person that can't do anything for you today may do something for you tomorrow. Or maybe just needs to even hear what you got to say. I'm not one of them broadcasters that be like, oh, if y'all don't gift me, y'all got to get the fuck out my room and all of this shit like that. And I'm consistent and I don't change. However I'm feeling that day, that's just how I'm feeling. Thank you. And even the free gifts, I like those too. You know, if everybody could share the live, that also helps. You know, I look at him, yes, blessed and highly favored, but don't ever think that I don't struggle with things. I just know not to go to man or woman or friend with my struggles. I know to go to him. It's not that I'm hiding anything. It's just whatever I'm struggling with, go to him and talk to him about it. That's the mistake people make. Stop calling your friends, telling your friends about your problems. All they might do is talk about you. What if I told y'all half of y'all friends don't even like y'all? Some people just like the things that come along with you. A lot of us, we grew up in an atmosphere. So I said this in another live, right? That a man's first, you know, experience how a woman should be is their mom. And a little girl, the first man that she ever knew was her father. So if you have mother wounds and father wounds, you know what I'm saying? That's you know, and you don't heal them, you know, we all have been oppressed in many ways. So many people coming from all these different walks of life and, you know, going through all of these things. That don't mean we can't come out of it. But on this app, I hope people have enjoyed it. You know, when it comes to 21, I feel like, oh, she's still on the app, so Dre Baby didn't get his wish. You know, I think when it comes to Dre Baby, he's smart and he's very well spoken, but he's sneaky. He likes to throw rocks and hide his hands. And that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand a person that throw rocks and hide their hands. Every time something don't go his way, he look down at that fucking phone and try to get people banned. Hey, Danica. And I think that's wrong. Why try to get somebody banned just because they didn't do something you wanted to do? Like he was in love with No Cap or something like that. Y'all remember that when he was in love with No Cap? And Cece came into the 3v3. And I said, I like the way that she handled that. She says, listen, I don't know what you got going on, but she said, don't be looking down at that phone like you finna clip me, because I didn't do nothing. And I feel like if a person didn't do anything, then why does he feel like he has the power to dox his host? Almost like a godlike complex, you know? And then let's not forget, y'all, it's funny, I could make a joke out of it. I was cammed down and I was talking shit, and he called me a lying tranny. But it's okay, because I know that chair stink. There's no way that chair smells good, you know? So she could key, I could key, we could key together. You know? Now, I know that chair stink like a motherfucker. And y'all gonna tell me that chair smell good? We ain't never see him spray Lysol on that motherfucker. We ain't never seen him motherfucking... I mean, that chair stink. Okay? Look, I lost like maybe 10 pounds. But, you know, even when when I was getting bigger, I had to take extra showers. I had to have the motherfucking wet wipes. Okay? When your thighs are motherfucking rubbing up against your shit, maybe that smell don't smell good. And then he's sitting up there steady. I believe that if that man, that guy, the one he was with, you talking shit about people, we didn't forget that you sniffed them drawers. And Cherry and them had me dying when they were lined up talk. They zoomed in on him and they said, Jay, you know, at the end of the day, you have to understand it's not just about monetary value, you know, and were you really helping him if you were just keeping him drunk, buying him alcohol? What if he wanted better out of life? You know, how are you uplifting him? Then after that, I told Cece, I said, that motherfucker don't like your ass. From the day that I seen that 3v3, and he saw Cece, started looking down at his phone. See, this is what I want people to know. As an intelligent African American female, okay, somebody gonna get Bigo. I don't give a fuck about what kind of lawyer they got. Okay, the rules that they write in black and white, they have to follow that too. So whenever they don't, or go against it, or show favoritism, it is called breach of contract. Okay? And it's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. They're just gonna get the wrong person. Why y'all think I do things the way that I do things? I don't show up every day. I try to stay out the way. I mean, I talk my shit, but I stay in my life. You know, the people that support me, you know, I try to go back around and make sure I support them. But the whole thing about it is that, and a lot of people tell me I should do panels. You know, I'm gonna do. Why? I'm not lining nobody. You want to know why? Every time I line somebody, when I come back, the next thing you know, my live is fucked up. I know y'all peep that. Have you ever befriended someone and knew they were a demon? If so, were you scared? Yes, I have. I've seen the demons in people and may even call the demon out. I told my son, okay, about Halfist and Malfist. Okay? So it's a deep conversation, but basically it's the same demon that been chasing us our whole life. So Halfist and Malfist are the, what do you call it? Like you know, the two superheroes that go against them. So the whole thing about it is just like we have angels, we have demons. Everybody has angels and demons. So basically, Halfist, the Halfist opposition is Malfist. So I told my son, when the lady in school, the teacher start fucking with him, tell him, you have to command the demon. You have to speak the demon's name and tell the demon they must go. And he accidentally did it and said, Malthus, I command you to go. He told me when he came home, I was on live. And the way he was screaming, I'm like, are you okay? He said, Mommy, I never got so much respect in my life. He said, I called her Malthus. And I told her, I command her to leave. You have to call the name of the demon out and command him to go. He said he never got so much respect in his life when you command the demon to leave and you name the demon, because it'd be the same demon chasing you around all your life. And demons are only fallen angels. So I'm not telling people to go study demonology, but demons can be seen on their knees praising God because they were cast out. They were tricked out their spot. Some of them he let back in, and some of them are just, demons are fallen angels. But you can't work for two teams at the same time. Everybody trying. I almost accepted that shit. Everybody, I can't accept no lines because every time people line me, you know what happens? When I fucking come back, the next thing you know, everything is all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I bought this thing on my phone. You're right, because Satan was once one of God's angels in heaven, right? And what happened was he wanted to be better than God. His head got big. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people, no matter how God blesses me, I'm going to put him first. There was days I might have not had food in my refrigerator and not known how I was going to get my next meal. But I praised him, and he made a way. I remember the other day I told y'all I didn't have money for my phone bill. Well, in Jesus' name, T-Mobile gave me a free month. How about that? How about that? Didn't I tell y'all whether I got it on here or got it from somewhere else that it was going to happen? The universe is my sugar daddy. I ask the universe what I want, and I shall receive. And I have to believe. And you have to understand that the higher the calling, the bigger the attack. And that even just goes for regular people too. You do not have to be chosen or called to do anything for the devil to attack you. All he needs is this much room. And he will trick you in a way where he will come through anybody. They'll be being used by the devil. And they don't even know they're being used by the devil. You get what I'm saying? If you're not, that's why I prayed over my son. And I plead the blood of Jesus over my son. Because the devil tried to use him. And I let him know, you can't have my child, Satan. No, you won't. No, the fuck you won't. You know what I'm saying? And like when it came to like the gang stalking with the kid, they try him now because they can't get to me. So you know what I said, and I say this not being racist because I love all my people, white, yellow, purple, green, whatever. I said I'm going to handle this like a white woman. I'm going to go down to the precinct and show them every fucking thing that I've got. It ain't called being a snitch. It's called being a grown-ass woman that knows that even though you may be in the right, you need a paper trail. That's why when a nigga whip your ass, Fuck all that. Don't call 12. Call the motherfuckers. You know how many women sitting in jail right now that shouldn't be sitting in jail, but they sitting in jail because they never reported a motherfucker fucking their ass up. They covered that black eye with makeup. They never told anybody. So the day comes when you have to do a motherfucker, because if it's either him or you're gonna go into survival mode. Do you know that if you had that paper trail of that motherfucker fucking you up, and you go into the precinct, and basically a paper trail, you have more of a chance to get away with that shit. But then it's how much you do something. Like, the craziest court case I ever heard of, Lorena Bobbitt, y'all. I don't know what that man did to her, but she cut his dick off and was waving it on the highway. Baby, I don't know what he did, but that bitch was loose. When I heard about that, I said, she had this motherfucker's dick out, waving it on the highway. Think about how snapped you have to be to do that. Then in court, because I was very young at this time, but I was always interested in, I was one of them people, I lived in Long Island, Brentwood, Long Island. The newspaper came to us every morning, and I loved to read. She said it wasn't a life, it was a penis. That shit took me out. She said it wasn't a life, it was a penis. Like as if, I only took his penis, it wasn't his life, So they had to wave Miss Thing down, get the penis from her that she was waving out the window, and reattach it to him. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know, I didn't follow where he is at today, but I bet you he won't start no shit, won't be no shit. I mean, I have never heard of no shit like that in my life. He made money off of it too. But think about the mental state. The mental state. Not only did she chop his dick off, but she was waving that shit on the highway. Like, yeah, you have to have snapped. Snapped. Think about it. She had to have snapped. You have to have completely fucking snapped for some shit like that to happen. Y'all double tap and share the live, you guys. The day has started over, you guys. And, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to stay on. The nurse Lisa lady blocked me, guys. So I don't know how many people were in here, or if anyone was in here when Nurse Lisa came. So basically, there was that video of Super getting tested, and I had the lady in the background. Then the thing happened where, he wanted to take CC to court and all of that stuff. Based on my discernment, she blocked me. But then I don't know if anybody's seen, she said that she was going to report me for doxing. Let's take a look at what doxing is. Exposing someone's truth. This was 2 days ago because I didn't go live yesterday. I had to rest because the last live I had, it was really heavy. It was heavy, One thing about it is I didn't end my live to go like